Welp. Alrighty, fellas. Good morning. Good morning. Okay? Just a typical Monday morning. I'm sitting here shiny hunting. You know, nothing super special. Just kidding. There's actually something insane that's going to alter the course of my content, especially for the course of this week, especially for the upcoming shiny rating on Thursday, but I have to keep that a little bit of a secret for now, okay? That's going to be a little bit of a secret until more people come into the stream and we can get all the information spread as much as possible all at one time. But for now, all that you need to know is that I now have the most amount of Pokeyen that I've ever had in terms of liquid form. I'm also shiny hunting. I'm 48,000 encounters dry still. Yep, still dry. Cac W says Switch chat. Good morning to you guys as well. So we're obviously going to break the streak today. Number one, a little bit of a sneak peek there. Number two, we're going to collect some fat Pokeyen. Number three, we're going to plan some fun events. Okay, so let's get excited. I'm happy to see you guys. Good morning, happy Monday. Well, it's actually a great question. Is there a warning when you throw a Master Ball? Because I almost threw one accidentally and I don't want to lose them. I believe there is. Someone in chat could correct me. I've never even attempted to throw one, so I've never seen the screen myself, but I believe there is a confirmation screen when you try to throw a Master Ball. I believe there is. Hey, Pat, Global Chat was saying you got arrested for DUI. Well, that's a new one. Well, just keep in mind, whenever Global Chat says something in PokeMMO, take it with a grain of salt. Yeah, people have been reporting a lot of server lag, honestly, recently. I don't know if it's due to the just extra popularity of the game, especially during, like, a quote-unquote what is normally an off-season. Yeah, dude, there's been a lot... So the reason this was brought up, because once I was running away from some battles, I had many battles on stream where, like, I'd click run, and all the sprites on screen would just, like, freeze for a couple seconds, and it would, like, have a delay before I could actually run. So there's just been a fair amount more server lag than we're used to recently. I don't know the reasons. Hope maybe we'll get, like, a dev update on it, because it has been noticeable for, like, the average player, in my opinion. Pat, I spent a lot of Pokeyen on leveling services and EV services. I'd rather shunt or breed to make more money than doing those tasks. I think that's super based. I think, especially, like, dude, there are so many people who offer, like, really cheap leveling or really cheap EV services. It's kind of hard to compete. It's pretty crazy, man. I think those are really, really cool tasks. Now, I personally just like doing those, even though, like, you could technically argue, like, it's inefficient, but that reaches a level of, like, ridiculousness to where it's like, oh, I'm going to play PokeMMO so efficiently that I'm just going to delegate all these tasks to, like, you know, if you want to do that, more power to you. I actually respect it, but personally, I like to do some leveling. I like to do some, you know, EV training is really fun and satisfying to me, all these things. But it's cool. It's cool to have that option. You know, the more options, the better. The idea that a lot of players can delegate those tasks to other players who want to do them for Pokeyen and have those little businesses. It's so cute to me. Like, the PokeMMO forums used to be such a bigger thing. Like, so for example, back before the GTL existed, you would have forum shops, and that was pretty typical for MMOs at the time. But it was a big deal in PokeMMO because you would list, like, all of your Pokemon, all of your comps, like, anything you were selling was in a forum shop. I used to run a forum shop, so it was way more common to also have in that forum shop, like, oh, I also do EV training services or leveling services, or it was way more common to find those things because you had to browse the forum anyway for buying any Pokemon, any comps, any breeders, whatever, right? Everything was via the forum shops. It's super, super interesting. So that was a cool era, man. Part of me does miss the forum shops. There's a lot of nostalgia there, but it took so much time and it was so ridiculously inefficient. Like, the time it took just to write up and, like, set up a forum shop was pretty long. It was pretty, you know, like, write out, you know, like, go to the forum shop, like, write out all of the Pokemon's IVs. So it would be like, okay, like, Shiny Spinarak, like, 31-31-28-28-28-28-31. You would put, like, Adamant Nature. And that's just, like, for one Pokemon. You have to, like, go through them for every Pokemon. Like, it took a long time, dude. All right, fellas, it's time. It's time. I'm going to show you something, okay? And I have some insane things to show you. I have some proper things to give. And let's just jump into it. First things first, I'm going to start off with my Pokeyen collecting. So I made some insane flips. That Venipede that I flipped last week on stream already sold. It sold within a few days. I think I bought it for... Did I buy it for 2.5? 2.8? Maybe 3 mil? Let's see if it's still in my... Oh, no, it's in my sold, but not in my bought. Okay, so... Yeah, that's a huge flip. We'll take it. And then Zapdos and an extra Moltres that I had, and then these, bam, bam, boom. Putting my cash stack, dude, what? Okay, so my cash stack just went, I didn't realize it was that much. How did that happen? My cash stack just went from 1.7 mil up to 10 mil. How did that happen? What? That's so much. Now, we're not even close to being finished, though. You might have actually seen there. I first things first want to say that this is ridiculous, okay? This is ridiculous, and I want to encourage, if you're going to quit or take a break from PokeMMO, I vehemently encourage you to keep your Pokeyen. Do not send me your Pokeyen when you quit. I really appreciate it, obviously, and I'm going to use it for interesting, exciting, and fun content, whether shiny hunting myself or maybe doing giveaways here in the future. And I will say, please don't ask me to do giveaways, and do not beg for Pokeyen because you see that I have a fair amount of Pokeyen. A lot of people do that. That's an easy block or like kick out of my community. Don't beg for stuff, but I'm happy to give back in fun ways with like little competitions. Having said that, thank you to Victoria, who has donated me 36 million Pokeyen, and that's just one. Okay, we have another one to go through, but let's read through it. I think they deserve that. Thanks for the journey. The time has come for me to say farewell to the game. It's been an incredible journey, and I've thoroughly enjoyed every moment of it. It's very wholesome. However, I need to shift my focus to other endeavors. Super fair, based, reasonable, adult behavior. I've made the decision to part with the game. You've been a significant part of my PokeMMO experience. Super sweet. I've watched most of your videos. Okay, they're just being too nice to me. I like to express my appreciation by donating some yen to you. Use it for something fun. I collect some of your OTs. I'll show your followers. Yes, thank you, Victoria. This is an insane amount of Pokeyen. I'm a very privileged, very lucky content creator. I absolutely, you know, full through and through. And that's not even it. I'm guys. Yes, that was the biggest dono ever until this one. This is insane. And this guy sent me 2 sentences. No longer playing. Giveaway as you see fit. The duality of man here. This is insane, Bart Moss. I really appreciate it. This is crazy. So my plan is, I am going to be keeping obviously a fair amount of the Pokemon, but also giving a fair amount of it away. I plan to be sprinkling around. Like, my current plan right now is to sprinkle out shiny charms and maybe some donator statuses with the upcoming shiny rating. So thanks to these donations, the upcoming shiny rating this Thursday, March 28th, is going to be extra special because there will be some rewards given out. There will be some shiny charms and things like that sprinkled around. And then on top of that, I'm going to try to do some impromptu, like out of nowhere competitions or like catching events. Maybe not like full 1 hour ones, but more so something like I'm about to do right now. Okay, we are starting our first competition, guys. Get ready. Okay, be ready, get ready. Here it is. So the first person to head over to the Hoenn region, okay, head over to the Hoenn region, go to the Hoenn Safari Zone. I now have 97 million Pokeyen. For the first person who heads over to the Hoenn region, go to the Hoenn Safari Zone. The first person to catch me a Shuckle, a wild Safari Shuckle with 20 plus HP, defense, special defense, and then a plus defense nature that isn't lax or gentle, okay? So anything like, let's go through, bold, relaxed, impish, calm, sassy, careful. All of these work. You will be given a prize. The first person to catch one of these in the wild and then give it to me or whisper it to me in game will be given a prize. Your time starts now. Let's go, dude. Kyle is the winner. Kyle Rad. God, this is a great Shuckle, dude. Good catch. 30 HP, 26 defense, 24 special defense. This was caught at what time? 12:37, 3 minutes ago. You killed this, dude. Relaxed nature. Good work, gamer. I will head back to the PC and mail you your prize. Now, keep in mind, guys, this is just one of many competitions to come, okay? This is not, you know, this is just one competition that I wanted to throw out there and have fun with. Please don't request these, but I do want to throw them out there whenever possible. I think it could be a ton of fun to do stuff like this. So there we go. Kyle Rad, congrats. Here's your 2 million Pokeyen for getting that fantastic Shuckle catch. All right, back to shunting we go, fellas. Let's just hit up the good old Sinnoh spot. Check Zodiac Dragon outfit price. Oh no, don't embarrass me. This is like definitely one of the more embarrassing. I thought it would go back down. We'll see. Zodiac. Oh, I was so wrong. And that's good though, dude. I think this is a good, like, it's good to talk about. Like, I feel like my market predictions in PokeMMO are pretty solid. But you're never gonna be on, like, pretty solid. I would say that I get around like 60 to 80% of market predictions correct, and that to me is like pretty damn good for markets. Like, markets are just so unpredictable. There's so many things to factor in. It's like such a complex thing, and I can confidently say I was dead wrong about the Zodiac Dragon outfit. Like, there's actually only 34 lists for it. That's a pretty small supply. I sold mine for 1.5 mil, expecting it to drop down to like 600K. Super wrong. I was super wrong. I was ridiculously wrong on this. And that just happens, you know, with as many, you hope with flipping or hope with any sort of investments to just make more wins than you have losses. But yeah, L for me, dude, for sure. What are mysterious balls at? Good question. Let's do a little daily check. I like checking markets every day, so we can do like mysterious Pokeball. We can do pretty similar price, no moves, crazy, which makes sense. Great balls are slowly ticking upwards. Seeing them consistently at 32 versus like last week they were at 30K or so. That's a pretty good consistent uptick. Ultra balls continue to go up. Wow. They went from like 90K to like 110K within 2 weeks or something ridiculous. What are premieres at? And premieres have gone from like 280, 290K up to 350 with, you know, not many supply. Wow, not much supply at all. Holy, dude. That's pretty phenomenal to see. Let's check 2012 markets. How are 2012 Pokemon doing? What's the cheapest 2012 right now? 150K, pretty standard, but there's not as many of them left. There was like a whole page of 150K or so for a bit there. And then what's like let's check the big dogs. So let's check Charizard, 2012 Charizard, looking at 4 mil or so. It kind of changes here and there a fair bit. 1.8 for Blastoise, honestly not bad at all. Venusaur, not seeing any Venas. What about Bulbas or Ivies? An Ivysaur for 6.7. Let's check 2012 Shinies. I love checking Shinies for these. 2012 Shinies. We're looking at 27 mil for the cheapest. Executor at 400. These are just ridiculously overpriced. Gyarados at 60. These are a little more reasonable. Now, something, I'm not going to lie, I've wanted to do for a very long time, and something that I can thankfully now do. No! 2013 Shinies have all gone up. Is this the one that was... Oh, that's devastating. I'm not going to lie. That is kind of devastating. Oh, man. 2013 Shinies have all gone up. I don't know if they're worth this. Like... They will become at some point, obviously, in my opinion, but I don't know if they're worth, at this point in time, are they really worth like 7 to 10 mil for a 20? I don't know is the question. I would say 2012s are, because like the biggest thing to keep in mind is like the difference between a 2012 and a 2013 shiny is ridiculous. There were so few players that played in 2012 versus 2013 for a couple reasons. Because in 2012, you only had 6 months to number one, learn about the game, and number two, catch a shiny. But in 2013, you had a year and a half to learn about the game, right? And then a year to catch the shiny. So like a full year. It's a huge, huge, huge difference. The play time required, like on average, to get a shiny was way more achievable in a year and a half. Like a lot of people who started playing in 2012 probably didn't get their first shiny until 2013. It's ridiculous how much more common 2013 shinies will be versus 2012. Pat, what are your thoughts on PokeMMO releasing their own original region aside the regions like Kanto and Johto? It's like their own like custom region. My main issue with it is it's probably a copyright issue. I feel like they probably couldn't do it without getting attacked by Nintendo or kind of infringing on copyright like they currently do not do. So that's my main concern. And then even if that, let's say theoretically in a world where that's not an issue, I probably still wouldn't prefer it. I respect, if you want that, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just an opinion difference. Like if you want a custom region in Pokemon, I think it's super based, super fine, super cool. Personally, I kind of prefer, I really like that PokeMMO is, it's truly if Nintendo made a Pokemon MMO and if it was good, right? Like they don't change the graphics and all the aspects and aesthetics and visuals. I like that PokeMMO feels like me just loading into like Pokemon Fire Red or Pokemon Black and White, whatever, with a multiplayer in multiplayer. It truly feels like traditional Pokemon with a multiplayer twist, and that's it. And I really, really like that feeling. Someone said Cherish Ball, mysterious Cherish Balls price are skyrocketing. That's kind of shocking to me. I mean, I'm surprised. Like, obviously they'll go up in value, but yeah, they did kind of skyrocket, didn't they? Weren't they worth like 60 or 70K during the event? A 20 to 25K rise so far is pretty. However, a lot of these have clearly been bought up and relisted, but that's pretty ridiculous, I will say. That's pretty crazy, actually. I'm not going to touch them personally, but I respect those who took the investment. I think that they're kind of just worse than Great Balls or Premieres. Or like, I thought there's better options or Ultras personally, but that's just, there's some cool, it's cool they give hidden ability access, and you do kind of, they're better than I expected. I remember when I opened some, I was like, oh shit, these are better than I expected, because you do get like a lot of good IV Pokemon, and you actually do get like a lot of like hidden ability Gyarados, which have like really good value. You make, if you're going to open Cherish balls, you make way more of your Pokeyen back than you do in comparison to other balls, which is something to be considered for sure. Hey, Pat, do you think Latias and Latios will get added to the game? I'm going to be honest. I don't think anytime soon. Maybe with to be fair, now that Assault Gear is in the game, it makes it way more possible. If you asked me prior to Assault Gear being in the game, I probably would have said, no, there's no way they get added. They're too strong. So for those that don't know, like the thing to be afraid of with Latios and Latias is the Choice Specs Draco Meteor dropping, right? Hydreigon doesn't get Draco Meteor in PokeMMO. In PvP, it's banned. It's too strong. Let alone Latias and Latios, who can do that or can set up Calm Minds or do other things like that. So it's very powerful. It's very scary. Draco Meteor dropping. Like, the Fairy type was added to combat Swords Dance Garchomp and Draco Meteor dropping with specs from Hydreigon in the Lati Twins. We don't have the Fairy type. So adding the Lati Twins is a really scary balancing thing. I kind of doubt it. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. This is insane. Pat, I've seen 5 shinies in my last 42,000 encounters. All of them in the Safari. 4 out of 5 of them were caught. How do I avoid this insane dry streak that's coming up? You just take it with pride, because that is... Congrats to you. Why did you You shunted 5 shinies in the Safari Zone back to back to back? You are a madman. I respect it. Good luck mentally getting through the dry streak, but hopefully it just never comes, dude. Good luck. Hey, Pat, if you put an egg that you've been hatching and then put it back into the PC, it saves the time that you spent hatching. Just found that out. Yes. The way that egg hatching actually works is a very niche mechanic to know, but it goes in like ticks is the best way to explain it, or like cycles. So I don't know the exact numbers, so keep that in mind. I'm just throwing out numbers that help you understand it. But let's say every like 1 minute there's a tick that triggers. So let's say that a Craninos egg takes 5 minutes to hatch, right? Every 1 minute you'll develop a tick on that egg, and then once you reach 5 ticks, that egg will hatch. So if you like sit with the eggs all in your inventory for 4 minutes and then throw them all back into the PC, if you pull them out again, you'll have to wait 1 more minute and you'll get that extra tick. But also it's like if you wait 4 minutes and 50, I believe this is how it worked from my understanding. If you wait 4 minutes and 59 seconds and then throw all of the eggs back into the PC right before that last tick, you'll have to wait another full minute on the eggs. So that's something to keep in mind. I believe, from my understanding, that's like how the system works. It's some like weird like tick unlocks essentially a cycle on hatching eggs. It's not really that important to know, but it's kind of neat. Unironically, here's a really good tip. I get a lot of questions of players returning to the game, like, hey, like I've been away for 3 months, 6 months, 6 years, whatever it may be. What's new to the game? It's really hard for me to like on the top of my head recap everything. What I recommend doing is go to the PokeMMO forums and go to the updates forum thread. And if you scroll through that like backwards, you'll get every major update. You may miss some stuff because some stuff does get put into the game kind of under the radar or like not totally explained via the update post, but I would check out the update thread and just go backwards in time through that essentially to see what you missed. What's your estimated encounters in this spot? I feel like answering that question makes me want to throw up. I feel like I'm over 100k in this spot because I did like, yeah, I think I'm over like 100k in this spot, and I've never gotten a shiny here. I always like go to a different location and get a time swipe forward. I've done a lot of encounters in this spot, yeah, altogether, yeah. Dude, I actually had no idea about this market move. So apparently Ditto Boxes are like consistently selling for 250k at the moment. Apparently the demand for Dittos has aggressively shot. I didn't know this. Now, to be fair, they're available for 4k on the GTL pretty consistently, which should be around... You probably should... So if they're selling for this price, I will say you probably should be selling for 220k a box. Because the way to... For those who don't know, the way to price check Ditto Boxes... I think I have a video on it. But for those who don't know, the way to price check Ditto Boxes is to take the price of a Ditto, so on the average price of a Ditto on the GTL, a Shitto specifically. So if 4k is the average price, and you have multiple pages of 4k Dittos, what you would do is you would subtract 500 from it, and then multiply that by 60. So you would take 3,500 and then by 60. The reason you do that is because you split the difference. You can even round this up to 220k. That's fine. The reason you subtract 500 Pokeyen is because you split the difference between the seller and the buyer. It's the perfect equal median, right? The reason you sell and buy Ditto Boxes as Ditto Boxes is to avoid the listing fee. If you sell Shittos on the GTL for 4k, you're actually only making 3k profit, right? So if you can make 3,500 profit as opposed to 3K, and in that situation, the buyer saves money because they're buying the box for less, and the seller makes more money because they're dodging listing fee. It's a mutually beneficial thing. Never, ever, ever be that person, in my opinion. Feel free to, you know, you can price things whatever you want. It's a free market. Do whatever you want to do. But in my opinion, I think overpricing Ditto Boxes is kind of cringe. Buying Ditto Boxes for more is even more cringe. Don't cuck yourself as the buyer. Understand why something is priced the way it's at. If you're buying Ditto Boxes for like more than 240k right now, or even 240k, I think you're cucking yourself. No reason to do it. You're actually, which is like, if you want to do that, more power to you. But there's just, you're paying overvalue. Always just do that little trick of subtracting 500 and multiply it by 6. I think it's super fair. I think that's the way to do it. Ditto Boxes are mostly used for, yes, Ditto Boxes, the only use of them really is for shunters. It's for people who are egg hunting for a rare shine. You need 30,000 Dittos on average. There's always a good demand for them. What if it's by mail? What's a fair price for mail boxes? Great question. Always add 20k because it costs around 19,800, I think, something like that, to mail a box. So 20k, just tack on an extra 20k to mail a box. Wow, someone's listing a ton of fairy elf bot hats. I'm kind of shocked to see that. I'm not gonna lie. How many of these do I own? They're 333. That seems really cheap for those. Let me check really quick. How many fairy elf bots do I have? 2? With my newfound Pokeyen, I'm happy to go ahead and buy 1, 2. I almost want to buy a third. I'm going to buy a third. I'll have 5 of them. I think that's super solid. It's a great item. When does the game decide the IVs of the Pokemon? When I catch it or when I encounter him? That's a great question. It's when you encounter them, because the Pokemon has to have like its stats decided during the battle, right? So like if you battle a wild Grimer with 31 defense versus a wild Grimer with like 5 defense IV, that actually matters in the battle. You know, you'll do more or less damage. That's why like sometimes you'll have really niche situations where like when you're EV training, or like if you have like the perfect Pokemon with the perfect attack or special attack or whatever, and you're EV training against Marowak, there are certain situations where if you EV training or training against a certain Pokemon a ton, you can actually statistically tell when that Pokemon has like 31 defense or 31 special defense or HP or speed, because there are certain situations where like if you have the exact speed thing, if you calc it, essentially you can EV train against like Rapidash, for example, right? And then in the if you calc it correctly, you can make it so like only Rapidashes with 31 speed and Jolly Nature will outspeed you, right? So you can try to keep track of that and like try to catch those ones. Now, if it's, you know, you're probably gonna kill, that won't really matter, but like I've seen that for like Marowak or whatever, where like if you calc it properly, it's not really worth it, but it's just interesting to know about. If you calc it perfectly, you can make it so like a Marowak that's 31 special defense and like careful nature or whatever will like live your surf from like your Dragonite, something like that, and then catch it. It's kind of like a cute way to make some extra profit, but is it really worth all of those like super specific calculations? Not really, but sometimes you'll just notice that throughout your hunts if you play the game long enough and do stuff like that long enough. Yeah, Panda Bat, I love this sentence. You said, if Ditto Boxes are up in price, 1 times 31 Dittos go down. Yes. If more people are rare shunting and need a bunch of Dittos, more people go and hunt Dittos, so therefore a bunch more good IV Dittos come into the game. And when that's the case, really good IV Dittos get really cheap, and you should always buy them up and like breed them. Whenever good IV Dittos are cheap, it's what I call a breeding market. And I've talked about this a lot, but it's really smart to like see like let's see if I can find like a really cheap Ditto here. So like if I do like 31 attack, 20 plus in HP and defense, you know, 5k, this is even 20 plus speed. So this is 20 plus in, you know, all of the stats this Pokemon would need except for special defense. This is so good. This is a really, really good Ditto to like breed with, right? There's a ton of stuff like this. We can find like 31 plus 20 to 25 plus in 2 or 3 other stats and get them for like the same price, like just a 1 to 31. There's some really, really good deals to be had, and you could breed. It's perfect right now because permanent raids are kind of on the way within the next coming months, right? So it's the perfect time right now to breed raid Pokemon, breed PVM Pokemon, breed PvP Pokemon, create all of those Pokemon you need right now. It's the perfect time to do it. I'm arguing with one of my friends who thinks Pro is better than PokeMMO, and I really like to play it with him. I really try to play with him, but the quality of life features in PokeMMO are so good, the box system, etc. I just can't get myself to play Pro. Fair enough, dude. I think it's total. If your friend likes Pro and you like PokeMMO, I think it's super based, super fair. I think that's a good thing. Like, it's good to have different Pokemon MMOs on the market. Obviously, you know, maybe you guys could work out a schedule where you play Pro 1 hour a week with him, or he plays PokeMMO an hour a week with you, or like vice versa, or you know, both, right? Or you guys could both. I think it's totally like, you could totally just play 2 different Pokemon MMOs and then kind of talk with your bro in Discord and be like, hey man, like, what Pokemon are you making competitive today? Are you EV training today? Are you shiny hunting? Like, what do you do? Like, the goals largely are going to be the same, except for like certain raids and stuff like that. But it's kind of cute that at least if you guys play different games, you could still have similar goals and still talk through those things, and kind of hype each other up and encourage each other. Did you try playing Poke1? Yes, I have a full video giving my first impressions on Pokemon on my channel. Here, this should be 48,500 encounters. Is that a milestone? I don't know. Why not? Boom. Yeah, a cute thing this stream is that I'll probably reach, in terms of encounters, I'll probably reach my exact sub count. Because my sub count currently is 48,917. And I'm at 48,551 encounters. So it'll be cool to match that. And let's see if I get a shiny exactly on the dot. That'd be pretty neat. Yes, people are asking about E4 strategy. I think like an unlosable Elite Four strategy, right? Because you heal after every trainer in the Elite Four, I believe, for the storyline, correct? And if you don't, just buy revives and buy potions and stuff, and you should be fine. But unlosable Elite Four strategy that I recommend. Turn 1, lead an Onix or a Steelix or some sort of rock-type Pokemon with Stealth Rocks and Sturdy. So it could be a level 1 Onix with Sturdy and Stealth Rocks, right? And that's going to be super good. Oh, I see your problem, Marquise. You can't run Hurricane on Gyarados. It's terrible. Or even Outrage is really bad. You want to have Dragon Dance is a must on Gyarados. Dragon Dance is why that Pokemon is so good. So, continuing on. So, set up your Stealth Rocks, turn 1. If you're stuck on the Elite Four, set up your Stealth Rocks, turn 1 against the Elite Four people. Turn 2, bring in a Light Clay Pokemon with Reflect and Light Screen. If you set up Stealth Rocks and then sacrifice another Pokemon to set up either Reflect or Light Screen or both, and then bring in a Gyarados and set up 2 Dragon Dances, you can potion or keep whatever to keep your Gyarados healthy. If you get a Gyarados set up with 2 Dragon Dances, it's unlosable. Like, it's so strong. It is truly, it's hard to lose against the Elite Four if you have a Gyarados, if any Pokemon really set up, but especially like a Gyarados with 2 Dragon Dances. It's going to outspeed everything. It's going to one-shot everything. If things have Focus Ashes or Sturdies, you might need to like Hyper Potion or like Potion your Gyarados, but it should be unlosable. Okay, this is actually so sad, but here we have a lost shiny clip. I've actually made a video specifically talking about this spot. This spot is the old Shiny Koffing spot. You don't have to use it anymore. Now you use like the new one in Johto. But at this spot, you need Memento plus you need Imprison plus Self-Destruct on this spot, or the Koffing will kill itself 100%. Or like 99.9. Because it has reactive gas. So a damp Pokemon will not save... A damp Pokemon will not save your Koffing here. You had it. Worst... Wow! You just forgot to lead the... Oh, man. I see what happened. So you literally have the Smeargle in your party, but you just led with Tyranitar on accident. That is so scary. That is so sad. Yeah, you can see the Smeargle in your party. That's devastating, dude. That's devastating. Smeargle, here it comes. Let's see. So does the shiny one use explosion or what happened? Let's see. Or do they explode and kill it? No. To be fair, yeah, that's so sad. You actually like almost... That's really sad. That is the saddest way to lose it. Damn. The fact that... Like, 'cause the only way it dies there is if it does... Right, like, that's... Oh, man. Salute to you, gamer. Rest in peace. That hurts, dude. Sorry to see it. Patrouski, please help. I'm addicted to Stardew Valley and I haven't played PokeMMO as much. Dude, Stardew Valley is a phenomenal game. Don't give a fuck about PokeMMO. Just get obsessed with Stardew Valley. Play it for 1 month. You'll be back to PokeMMO in a month. Don't worry about it. It's a phenomenal game. Enjoy it while you're sucked into it. Thoughts on Spidget winning a tournament a week after starting PokeMMO? I'm not familiar, but that's fucking incredible. Good for him, dude. That's awesome. Coming to PokeMMO and learning the... like. Obviously, if you like are good at Pokemon PvP, you can absolutely come to PokeMMO and do super well, but you still have to learn so much. You still have to like learn the metagame, learn the custom balancing changes and all that stuff. So to come to the game within a week and win a tournament is wildly impressive. Like, not only does that show he's really, really good at Pokemon PvP, but it also shows his willingness and his aptitude for adapting and quickly learning things and quickly changing. That is really, really, really deeply impressive. Yeah, here's the tournament that he won. That's awesome. Congratulations to him, dude. Spidget Real. This was on OU. This is a 128 person tournament as well. That is crazy. It's one of the coolest and most underrated talked about things in PokeMMO is that you can actually go through all of the tournaments, all the automated tournaments, and go VOD review. So if you want to learn how to be good at PvP, like someone like Spidget or like someone who's winning the tournaments in the game, dude, go VOD review. Watch these games, see the teams. Like, it's actually, like, to me, as someone who's not actively involved in, like, the PokeMMO PvP, like, I'm not that good at PvP because I don't practice. You can't be good at something if you don't practice. That's ridiculous, right? This guy is running a rain team with Excadrill, Moldbreaker Excadrill, I assume, to set up Stealth Rocks, but he's running a rain team. And if you looked at PvP stats, Rain's actually doing really bad right now. 47% win rate with Pelipper, which is all rain teams. I think Kindra's at like a 44%. Yeah, Kindra, like, Rain's at like actually a pretty low win rate percentage. So to see this in the top of the tournament, you really realize how different like tournament meta and ladder meta are as well. Like, those are two very different meta games. Is the difference of just ranked ladder versus tournaments, you know? We see Excadrill versus Rotom Watch lead. Now, I'm on Shiny Charm. I'm not going to watch this fight, but if you guys want to go watch it, it's available. You can always go watch all the tournaments. Just go to tournaments and then go to tournament history, and there it is. You can see all the old tournaments in PokeMMO, and you can learn so much about the game through it. All right, this should be the matching encounter that matches my sub count. So I have 48,928 subs on YouTube right now, and I also have 48,928 encounters. Well, to be fair, okay, well, actually, no, that YouTube sub count just went up to 931. So now I have to get, okay, 2, now 1 more, and then we'll actually be at the number. There it is. Now the matching number. Still no shiny, though. Oh, that is 40. I almost missed it. That is 49,000 encounters, by the way, fellas. And we are still dry for a shiny, and we are going to remain dry until tomorrow because this is the end of today's stream. Thank you guys so much for watching an unbelievable Monday stream. Thank you all so much for a nice 4-hour and almost 20-minute stream, 17 minutes. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Dislike if not. Subscribe to the channel for daily Pokemon videos. Follow the Twitch for streams Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET. Discord's links down below for more content updates and information. And if you want to go above and beyond and support my content, like many of you have done the stream, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal/Venmo help out tremendously, but are never needed. Thank you all so much. Have a great day. I will see you all later. Good luck on your shinies and whatever you're doing in Pokemon today or any game. Yo, what's up? I just want to quickly say thank you so much for watching the entire video. That's very, very cool of you. And it's even cooler for all of these people to go above and beyond and support my content. I couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much again.